Hey everybody out there in Hot Rod Land, it's Phil coming to you once again from Carcraft Classics. Today we're showing off this absolutely gorgeous 2019 Corvette. What a beautiful car. This is a one owner, locally purchased 2019 Corvette Z06 with just 2,000 miles on it. I was approached by a local gentleman that's got a Corvette collection. He asked me to help market the cars for him, and I couldn't be happier. I'm a big Corvette guy. As you guys and gals out there may or may not know, this shop, we do a lot of Chevrolet products, and this is the cream of the crop when it comes to GM and Chevrolet. Couldn't be more happy to have this barely broken in, again, one owner Corvette Z06 with just 2,000 pampered miles. One of the funny things the gentleman said to me when he handed the car over is he said, "I don't think this car's been in 7th gear yet," because he just hadn't really had time to enjoy it and came to the realization it needs a new home. So I told him I'm the man for the job. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Cream of the crop as far as I'm concerned. There's not many cars or trucks out there that really buckle my knees, but this is one of them. But for anybody maybe watching one of my videos for the first time, this is Carcraft Classics. We're located at 321 Canton Road. Sorry about the sun glare. We're in Cumming, Georgia 30040. We're about 40 minutes north of the airport, about a half hour due north of Atlanta. Number for the shop is 470-239-4977. Again, that's 470-239-4977. My name is Phil, I'm the owner here, and my cell number is 770-317-1415. Feel free to call or text if you have any questions, schedule a test drive, etc. Email for the shop is carcraftclassics@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit us on the web at carcraftclassics.com. We'll be working over the next day or two to complete the listing on this car. It'll be on our inventory page at carcraftclassics.com. Going to have 70 plus pictures, this video, and a full listing of all the options. With this being a local car, it was owned and purchased here locally. I believe it was purchased at Hendrick Chevrolet. I've got a lot of information, and what I don't have, I can get from the owner. This thing is gorgeous. This is a C7 Corvette, for those of you that don't know. The 7th generation of the Corvette was introduced, I believe, in 2014. And that the Z06 model, the high performance model that you're looking at here, was introduced a year later in 2015. The C7 model year run ended in 2019. So like a lot of the 87 pickups that we sell here, this is also the last year of this particular model range. 2019 was the last year. In 2020 they introduced the C8. And that car is growing on me. I'm not ready yet. It's a little, the design change was quite drastic in my opinion, but this 7, this one is top of the heap. I tell you, as far as Corvettes go, doesn't have the flip up headlights that we all think about when we think about nostalgic Corvettes, but I just love it. Fixed headlights and all. And this one was done originally in Arctic white with the jet black interior. And I just love the white and black combo. Makes those red brake calipers that are part of the Z06 package just pop. Nothing's cleaner than white. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, before we get started with all the details on the window sticker and everything that this car comes with, let me show you the additional parts that I've got. Here's the inside of the shop here. Old Pontiac, some Chevrolet pickup trucks. Got an OBS back there, blue 87 square body that we just finished. But today's video is again focusing on this Corvette. And when you buy one of these Z06s and you get a certain trim level, which this one is a 2LZ. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but this is the 2LZ trim level. They give you some parts that you might want to use if you go to the track. An old friend of mine told me that, you know, back in the day he used to rent a trailer to take his car to the track and race it and do repairs inside the trailer. Nowadays they're selling these cars off the line like the Z06 that you can just jump in, go to the track, win a couple races, flick the AC on, and drive home. It's just incredible the power that these cars come with. And with that in mind, and you know, GM knows that their clientele may be racing the car, they give you some of these parts. That is a part you use to install on the brakes, to get it more track ready. This is a part that you install in the front spoiler to extend the front spoiler. There's that window sticker. These are like the cargo and the parcel net. You can see all of this stuff is still in the plastic. Has barely been, it looks like those two parts haven't even been out of the bag yet. Just unbelievable the condition, you know. Corvettes are all gorgeous, but it's not every day you have access to one that has been barely broken in. You know where it came from. You know it was a one owner. Of course, I have the Carfax showing it's never been in an accident. I mean, heck, it's only got 2,000 miles. It's crazy. This is a real opportunity either for a collector or somebody that's just been looking for a Z06. Now, one of the things that's special about this car, this particular Z06 that everybody loves, is that it's a 7-speed manual. They made automatic transmission Z06s in 2019. So the manuals, they're not growing on trees. They're not easy to find. And I've got you one right here if you're looking for one. I'm going to probably bore most people half to death, but the Corvette connoisseurs, they'll like what I'm about to do. I'm going to spend about 5 minutes reading off and explaining some of the features of this car, some of the factory features of this car. All right, so bear with me here. Okay, first of all, it's got 650 horsepower. The power plant under the hood is an LT4 supercharged 6.2 liter V8, again with 650 horsepower. More than you'll ever need, all right? Then again, as I mentioned moments ago, it's got the 7-speed manual transmission, the super highly desirable 7-speed manual transmission. Oh baby, look at that thing. Oh, make me weak in the knees. Carbon fiber hood. But anyway, moving on. It's got the factory dual exhaust, of course, with multi-mode performance. So there's a little switch I'll show you in a moment when we get on the inside that you can adjust based on, you know, if you want to choose the economy setting, the bad weather setting, the sport setting, the touring setting, and that little dial will affect the exhaust note, and it will also affect the suspension. That's something that came factory on this particular car. Talk about power steering. You know, it's always a nice feature to find on some of the classic cars that we sell, but this one, it's got some serious power steering. Of course, it's a rack and pinion system, and it's variable ratio, speed sensing power steering. It's got 4-wheel disc brakes, of course, discs all around. On the Z06, you get the larger rotors that are slotted. Hit those big calipers. Those particular wheels are an upgrade. We'll talk about them in just a moment. All right, active handling and stability and traction control. And people ask all the time, what's included in the Z06 performance package? Performance suspension, slotted brake rotors, dry sump oil system, Z06 pearl nickel painted wheels, magnetic ride control, this car does have that, painted brake calipers, differential electronic limited slip, and run flat tires. And we move on to the preferred option package that this particular car has. The 2LZ preferred equipment group includes, let's see, a memory package, luggage shade and parcel net. We saw those a moment ago on the table. heated and ventilated seats, premium Bose audio system with surround, curb view cameras up front. Those are kind of neat. On the driver info center, the screen in the middle console, you can pull up curb cameras. So when you're pulling into a parking space, they're right there in the grill. You can see how close you are. It's kind of really a neat feature I love in the Corvette. On the 2LZ preferred equipment group, anyway. Okay, seat adjusters, power bolster and lumbar on the bucket seats, power heated and auto dimming mirrors, universal home remote, advanced auto theft deterrent system, the cargo net we talked about, that driver mode selector with 5 options, again, affects the suspension and the exhaust note on this car. So cool. We'll show you that when we get inside. Does have a carbon fiber hood and removable color matched roof panel. For the die-hard Corvette guys and gals, it's got a color matched removable panel versus the transparent one. All right, let's see, what else do we got here? With the Z06, you get the rear spoiler, you get the front splitter, and as I showed you over there on the table, there's some parts that come with it that you can extend that front splitter out here in front of the tires. You can attach that, those extra pieces if you'd like. There's that spoiler. Super cool look. It's done in like a metallic, dark gray. And I love this car. I'm in love. Okay, what else do we got? It's got power windows, power locks, of course. Power tilt and telescopic steering column. Look at this, baby. Leather wrapped flat bottom steering wheel. They've been getting more and more popular over the years. Instead of it being just a full circle, the steering wheel, you know, it's got the flat bottom like the race cars. I'll show you that when we get inside as well. 8-way power adjustable heated and ventilated leather bucket seats, air conditioning with dual zone climate control, heads up color display system, keyless open and start system, driver info center with backup camera and navigation. Got the optional GM competition sports seats. Those are great. Got a racing seat in there. Nice thing that GM did with these seats though, they are lightweight, very thin racing seats, but they're super comfortable. You know, I was recently in a Porsche, and it had the Porsche racing seats. I mean, the side support, the lumbar support, was so rigid and so big. I mean, just getting in and out was a hassle. So GM was able to put together a set of competition sports seats, but they're actually comfortable as well, which is nice. This car also came with the carbon fiber interior package upgrade, performance data and video recorder, optional battery protection package, Z06 black aluminum wheels, and it has a clean Georgia title and Carfax. We've got the window sticker as you saw a moment ago, and I've got the original owner's manual. So we've got a barely broken in 2019 Corvette Z06. 2,000 miles, never been in 7th gear yet. You're getting basically a new car. When I say this thing's in pristine condition, I mean pristine. This thing doesn't have scratches. This thing doesn't have any problem spots. Before we had it, it hadn't been waxed yet. Look at those wheels. We got a 19 on the front and a 20 in the rear. Again, what does GM call those? They call them the Z06 Pearl Nickel painted wheels. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Sorry about the shadow, just that time of year. Again, carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber roof panel, and of course, fiberglass body. Pin straight, mint, mint, mint condition. And these Corvettes, you know, of course, they're real low to the ground. So they tend to get a lot of scratches from picking up rocks and everything bouncing in the road, but this thing is mint perfect. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Oh baby, look at that thing. The nose is immaculate. The entire body is mint. One owner, local, 2,000 miles. I hate to keep saying that, but it's the truth, and you just don't see it every day. Sorry about the sun glare. And on my website, as I mentioned earlier, there's going to be 70 plus pictures without the shadows, without the sun glare, that we'll take of this car. And if there's any spot that I missed that you want to see, just give me a holler. Again, my number is 770-317-1415. Trying to find this thing a new home. I'd love to send it to an area, you know, with a good climate. There's that exhaust. And everything is factory stock. Nothing has been monkeyed with on this car. There has been no engine work. There's been no warranty work. Been no exhaust change. There's been nothing. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of guys like to build these Corvettes and put cams in them, add power, but this thing really just doesn't need it. This thing is great just the way it came from GM. Supercharged, LT4, 7-speed manual, 650 horse. What more do you need? Let me get rid of this clipboard for a minute and we'll get you inside, pop the hood, show you the engine bay. Just love that Arctic white. Absolutely love it. All right. Jet black interior, as I mentioned. Not even going to talk about rust. There is nothing on this car. We took pictures of the undercarriage. Looks great under there. Your rockers, they're not all scratched up. Your sill plate. The car is in like new condition. Let's see if we can get my old butt in and out of here. Oh, there's that flat bottom steering wheel. A good look at it. Of course, we got the sun glare, but Z06 badge. See how it's got the flat bottom? Oh baby, I'm in love. All right, let's get in here. Fire this baby up. All right. I've had a bunch of Corvettes, but I've never had a C7 Z06. So I've never had that gauge on the right that measures your boost, your supercharger boost. It's kind of cool. Man, this thing is cool. So there's that driver infotainment system. Let's see what we can do here. Love it, love it, love it. Well, it was playing. Oh no, I had changed it. So it's got the Bose. It's got the upgraded stereo Bose system in it with surround sound. Unbelievable. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's look at some of those cameras. So in the bottom you see the backup camera. Not sure why it blinks like that when you tape with a phone, but take my word for it, it's not blinking in real time. But anyway, the bottom two squares are your backup camera. The top two squares are your curb view cameras that'll help you from dinging, denting, scratching your chin spoiler when you pull into parking spaces. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. And there's more to do on this stereo system than I would ever know. I probably wouldn't even turn it on. The music for me is right here. So awesome. Let's see, media, no media available, radio, home. So there you go. You can hook up your phone, of course. Cameras, we talked about the navigation. There's your recorder that I mentioned earlier, the performance data recorder. When you go to the track, it'll take your times and everything like that. That's super cool. Got your navigation system right there. And the James Bond hideaway spot, which anybody who's had a C7 knows. These Corvettes come with that. It's so cool. Always hide my little weapon in there just in case. Of course, AC, and then you can see dual zone climate control. See right there on the vent. Let's see if I can get that glare out of there. There we go. Right there on the vent, the passenger can set their own temperature. Man, this thing is gorgeous. And there's that stick shift, 7-speed manual. So cool. You can see down there in the center gauge there, the tack, in the bottom left-hand corner, 2,192 miles. Now, the S below the tack in the center there is the indicator of that driver select mode that I mentioned earlier. Right now it's in sport mode. We switch it to touring. You can hear the exhaust change. Economy mode. Weather mode. And when you put it in weather mode, it's going to increase the traction control to keep you safe. You're telling the computer, the onboard computer, that you know that the weather's bad and you don't want to have any accidents, so it's going to talk to the differential, and if there's any slipping, it's going to reduce power on that slipping wheel and put more power to the non-slipping wheel. So the technology is through the roof in this car. It should make you not only the coolest guy in the block, not only the fastest guy in the block, but the safest guy in the block as well. You can hear in weather mode or economy mode or touring mode doesn't sound real mean, which is nice. There's always times, you know, you need that either for gas mileage or maybe when you're sneaking away at night, who knows. But let me make that change again. You can hear the exhaust change. When we go to sport mode, it's a whole new ball game. Then of course you have track mode. So cool. And of course you can turn off your traction control. You see that indicator up in the right hand corner if you're at the track. So neat. I don't think I'd ever take it out of sport mode, but it's nice to have the option. Again, all the creature comforts that you'd want: power windows, power locks, AC, climate control, and then you have this telescopic steering wheel. You can either move it in and out towards you, up and down. That's all power as well. Heads up display, can you see that? It's blinking, at least on the camera it is, but that's a color heads up display system that'll tell you your speed that you're going in. I think you can adjust it to not only up and down, but you can add, you know, things to it like the tack, you know, your RPMs and things like that. Your mirrors are power. They're also auto dimming, both outside and inside. This car has it all and then some. Take another listen. Trunk, like the rest of the car, is in mint condition. Pristine. Here's your shade that I mentioned earlier. It comes with that 2LZ group performance, or I'm sorry, preferred option group. Carpeting is like new back here. Look at the back of those sport seats, which, as I mentioned to you before, are super comfortable. Power open and close. Trunk lid, hatchback, whatever you want to call it. Little scoops for air to cool the brake system. Just love it. It's a damn street legal race car. As I mentioned, these sill plates are all mint condition. Seats are in mint condition. I love how the back of the competition seats is kind of done in a gloss black. See if I can show you that. Can you see that with the glare today? Hopefully you can. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Got your traditional Corvette oh shit handle for the passenger. Hang on, we're going. Again, it's got the Bose stereo system. Mint, mint, mint condition. Show you that headliner. Bottom of the roof panel. It's in great condition as well. Of course, the visors are intact. Car is basically in showroom condition. Big old brakes. Z06 came with the slotted rotors. Base model had a certain rotor size. Then you went up to the Grand Sport and the brakes got a little bigger. And with the Z06 you get the bigger brakes. I'm not sure if the ZR1 carries the same brake system as the Z06, but I think these are as big as it gets. It's also kind of the wide body Corvette. I have to look. Kind of fender flares up front. And you look at the back end, you can see how the body flares out over that rear tire. It's got to stick out two inches more than the front wheel. Just every little cue and feature on this car is just, I love how GM did it. Let's take a peek under the hood. The hood doesn't weigh anything because, of course, as I mentioned, it's carbon fiber. And there it is, the money shot, as we all say. That's the supercharger. Again, it's an LT4 V8. I believe it's an all-aluminum V8 with the supercharger. Connected to, again, that desirable 7-speed manual. Engine bay is mint, as you would expect, like the rest of the car. Glass is all good. The car has no issues. There are no issues to address. There's nothing. It's been meticulously maintained for, whatever scheduled maintenance was necessary at this stage of the game. It's only got 2,000 miles, but it was also kept indoors in a climate-controlled environment for its entire life, which has been what he bought it in 2019, so it's 6 years now, but only, again, 2,000 miles. It's been asleep, and now it's ready for a new home. 2019 Corvette Z06, 2LZ preferred option group, I think they call it. All the details will be in the ad. killer look on that carbon fiber hood and these little scoops. Keep that engine bay from overheating. And I believe Corvette did have trouble with the C6 overheating. So they put those scoops, those little vents in the hood so they wouldn't have that problem anymore. Arctic white over jet black. As hot as your high school girlfriend. So if you're in the market for a C7 Corvette, I think I might have one of the nicest ones in the country. Barely any miles, one owner, local car, got all the parts that came with it as you saw on the table over there. I love the clear lenses on the tail lights. Love it, love it, love it. So let's get down to the brass tacks. Asking price on this Corvette is $85,500. I've searched the market, scoured the market. I know you can buy them out there for $75,000. I know guys asking $95,000. It's all about the condition and the miles and the history. You know, most guys that buy these kind of supercars don't want to hear that they've had 5 owners. It doesn't really scare me, but I know it scares some guys and gals out there. But this one's only got the 1 owner. Next thing everybody's worried about is mileage. Has the car been in an accident? This car checks all the boxes. No accidents, 1 owner, locally owned, no miles on it, clean Carfax, Georgia title, clean title, no salvage this, rebuilt that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So $85,500. Look at the size of the tire on the back of that car. If that don't get you excited, you're not a car guy. I'm guessing it's a 335. Let's see. Yep, 335, 25, 20. That's a big old footprint right there. Be hard to break that thing loose. And what do we got up front? We've got a 285/30 19. That's what we put on the back of our trucks. It's crazy. But anyway, $85,500 is the asking price. Give us a holler. We can help with shipping. We can help with financing. Again, my name is Phil. My number is 770-317-1415. 770-317-1415. If you're an email kind of guy or gal, you can email me at carcraftclassics@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a shout or shoot me a text if you have any questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. God bless America.